See, today I'm going to speak a topic about a lifestyle of a previous generation and about our generation. If we see towards the ancestors who are lived years ago, they used to be live with respect to their profession and development, and especially their life was went with respect to the soil and the sky. But in our generation, it has been went up to the dolly, and about the scientific development, it has been went with the process of making human like me, like you, like her. And yes, I'm talking about the cloning. If we see towards the previous generation, the people used to be identify a rocket in such a way. If there is any white line which is created on a sky, they used to be identified as the rocket which is flying on a sky. But in our generation, what we are handling for about, the scientists who have discovered the Mars which consists of the water. And if we see towards the birth, in the previous years ago, the people expectation towards the baby born was like, if it's going to be boy or girl, but in this generation, it has been went that the women who are above the 35, they used to be pray to God, I want a baby, by the method of IVF, which is in trending of now. And the people, their children used to be go away from their home, and they used to be play something with things with their friends, and they after they get tired, they used to be hug their mom and sleep well by hearing the voice of a lovely of their mother. But in the generation, I don't want to be described that what is the people and the children are handling for. They used to be sleep with respect to the phones. And if you see about the environment, with respect to the environment, in the previous years ago, with respect to the lake, pond and river, the people are analyzed and realized that this all of a thing is not only to rule by a human, it's also be common for all living things. So they have adjusted and sacrificed that all of the things, and they have lived for us, and they also be managed from rainwater. But in the generation, the people used to be occupied the place where did the lake, pond and river were, and they are making some building on that. And what is the last is the result what is happening this region? The flood which is entering into their home, that is a thing which is destroying the whole area which they are living for. And as we are cutting the trees and destroying the forest, what is happening? There is no moisture in the land. So there is a moisture in the land, we can't able to switch any water. So we are making a bore well for more than 100 several feet and to switch water. But in the previous years ago, the people who are lived, they used to be switch the water in such a way because they have lived with respect to the nature. So they get the water very easily and they stayed healthy. Okay. Now, what is mean by a discipline? The discipline is not only wearing a decent dress and entering somewhere else at the correct time and going to a home at the recent of the correct times, and this sort of things is not called as a discipline. It's not a discipline. Then what is a discipline? The discipline is how you are not hurting someone else from your bottom of your heart is called as a discipline. And the previous years ago, the people used to be give some respect to the elders, and they are lived with respect to the elders. And they got a lot of blessing and they stayed very good behavior well. But in the generation, the people used to be tell hi, bye, good night. So there is no behavior of giving respect to the people. So there is a lot of a changes starting from what is a baby born to here, giving a respect and behavior. And now, about education. In the previous years ago, the people used to be travel for a mile to get and gain a knowledge and education. And especially the girls are not allowed to be educate their knowledge. It's not be about it. They should want to be travel for a long, so that the reason they are avoided to be special knowledges and education. Even though although this all did happen, our honorable president, Draupadi Murmu, who came as the president first woman in our India. So it's a very proudable one. We can take she as our role model. And if we see towards the people behavior and this all of the things have been changing. And the important one about the foreign passion. What I'm going to include here is the normal things which we are including in our daily life, very simply what we are handling for. Usually the people we see, they with the jeans, they with the watch, which has been founded in a foreign. I'm not meaning that we should want to avoid that of wearing some watches and some things which product which has been made from other country. I mean, for example, the watch which is manufactured in other foreign country, the people used to be buy if that the particular watch which is selling in 100 rupees in India, the people involvement to buy that the foreign product for more than 100, more than 1,000, because the only reason it has been found, it has been manufactured from other country. And about the genes, in foreign countries, there is a lot of climatological difference between our country and then a foreign country. In foreign country, due to their climatology, and some people should want to be do the work with respect to the underground. Say they used to be wear some jeans for this or the criticalized temperature as well as criticalized works for their comfortability. But in our culture, we are following that of wearing the dress as a patient, the foreign patient. So how patient we want to be about with respect to the foreign? We should want to be changed literally from that. We can try. And now, about a medicine. We all know the people in the previous years ago, they are lived with respect to the nature. So if they have any problem about their body condition, they used to be switch some leaves with respect to the nature, and they get the treatment. It will take a lot of time to be solved their whole problem which the body consists of. But it will not make sure that it will make sure that it will not come once again in their life. They had ensured about it. And when comparing with what the generation we are handling for, we all are using as a medicine as a food. But in the previous generation, the people at their mind and point of view of their life was like, food is a medicine. So they stayed healthy and very comfortable. Like the treatment, what they took, the Siddha medicine and Ayurveda. So these goes all of the things. But in our generation, we are using towards allopathy. If we have any problem with your problem with your body, we going towards the allopathy and about the conversation with someone else and getting some treatment about it with respect to allopathy. So this all of the things which makes it dangerous for us. And if we take the food which we used to be take usually, the food which is consists of a lot of ethanol. Ethanol is a very dangerous one which if we take, it take a lot of problems to our future. It will not show at the time, but it will used to be go for a lot of time to get considered accept your body to damage you of the inner organs. And about the nature and a lot of things, it has been changed when comparing with our generation. And example, the baby which is born newly, it has a lot of problem with its body, whole body. If any baby is born without a problem, I ensure that is not in our culture, in our generation. And as well as it also inserts some problems for the baby born that woman. And a lot of things is there. And it has the food which we are taking intake for, it has a lot of toxicological properties. It makes a lot of dangerous, assorted dangerous for us. And as well as usually in our home, we used to be get some cleaning purpose. For the cleaning purpose, we used to be use a lot of chemicals and plastics and other materials, which is assorted dangerous for us. We can't as well as avoid it because that like of merge which we mixed with it. And 80% of the chemical and plastics and other materials are living with us. So that all of the things which we should want to be, if we want to avoid, we want to think as a sort of things, and as well as we should want to come over from there. We want to use the neem leaves by mixing in the water to spread and clean a home. So this all of the things which we want to be utilize the time, we want to utilize the nature. So it is a way we can change over from there. And in nowadays the people used to be take drugs usually to express manifest they are into or they are sad. So it is went as a trend, no? But what is behind to that one? The people get, the behavior get, and the body get very damaged. As they are taking a lot of drugs, their inner organs are spoiling, their inner organs get damages. So what is happening? Their lifetime which is reducing a lot. So that is what is happening in our life, which we are handling for. And now, about the arts, about the workouts. The people who did the workout a lot, if I want to tell, it's going to be previous years ago, the ancestors who have did the work with respect to the as a workout. How is possible? There are the 64 types of arts and works is there. So people have used to be do physically the effect to finish that the one art. So they used to be stayed healthy and slim. But in our generation, especially a woman, used to be do some works with respect to the machine. In a previous years ago, before the 20 or 30 years ago, their motivation, scientists' motivation that of inventing and discovering something as a product was like, if it's going to be very harder for to make, how we can make it as a literally bit easy. And they also be a body physical workers as well as the machine technology has been made. But in this generation, all of the things have to be machine. How is? Because now innovation going to be like, if there is one easy to be considered, how we can make it as a very easiest one. It is the things which we are handling for nowadays. And so that if we want to lose our weight, the people are going to gym, and with respect to machine, again they used to be lost their weight. Again and again in our life, the machine is running out. But we not put any effect about it. And now, even though this, all of the things with respect to the nature and our culture, what our generation, what we are following for, there is a lot of different is there. There is no similarities. There is a lot of different, but the similarity which we are handling for is guts and how we can plan to manifest our talent in such a way. So these all of the things which makes us to be very confident to manifest. For example, Vidit Mohan is a naturalist. He got award. Is youngest one in India. And then Rachna, a 12 years Rachna who got as environmentalist in India. And especially a woman, a flight fighter. Avani, she is the first youngest flight fighter, woman flight fighter in our India. All of the people are proudest one for us to be manifest to tell you. So, what I am telling, including you, although we have a lot of segregation, a lot of cultures, a lot of way of we eating, dressing, and what are things we taking for intake for, what the dressing, what behavior we are in, a lot of things. But if we use our wisdom and technology as like the people about the youth who have used and manifest their talent, we are the youth can able to come over from there to manifest. We want to use a wisdom and technology what is running for. And thank you.